Okay, we are set for recording our Wednesday night, June 14th webinar. I'm starting off in our back office. For those of you that are brand new to this call, findyourfreedom123.com is where I am located. Across the menu bar, you see back office. And that is where we as GBOs, that is the location of all of our tools, okay? So just understand that whether or not you are, whether or not you've been using this up to now, this is the source of every tool that every leader you're going to hear from this evening, that myself and Lloyd, this is our business back office, okay? You can see right here the team calendar, the team events calendar, and I'm going to walk you through a brand new tonight launched tool that each one of you are going to be, I'm going to rely on each of you to get very, very good at giving this email to every single brand new GBO, okay? I will give you feedback from a couple of people this week that absolutely had no idea about this, and I conveyed it to them. And I love the philosophy of out of the mouths of babes. You can't make this stuff up, okay? And one lady said to me, "Wow, I need to implement something like this in my own business for new employees or new business owners." And she said, and then another gentleman said, "Where was this last summer when we launched this company?" So to start off with, I'm going to start off in the back office, and I'm going to go under new GBO tasks. If each of you will notice, I have attempted to highlight the significant tools or items that lie underneath each one of these. So the new GBO task, it states, while this is just the first step, it is an incredibly important first step. Be a great sponsor by sending new GBO welcome letter and follow up to ensure comprehension. What am I talking about? Well, simply click on it. In this new area, we have got new GBO welcome letter and new GBO tasks. And I want each one of you to get intimately familiar with the fact that every stripe, when you see the stripes, like under new GBO welcome letter and new GBO task list, I want you to understand that these items are going to initiate some form of email communication to someone. It is a form. It's something you fill out, and it will email somebody to, or several people, okay? If it is just a plain, like the simple green stuff, like right here, it's a document. So when you click on it, it's going to open up a document for you to use or for you to learn from, okay? Stripes are forms, plain documents with a title are documents for your reading and for your learning and for sharing through emails or whatever else you need it for, okay? Here's what I want to focus on. The new GBO welcome letter. This is a new form that has been built for your use to help you communicate with your new GBOs. Let me see if I can't reduce the size of this just a little to bring more of it up here for me, okay? The new GBO welcome email letter requires two things. It requires you, the sponsoring GBO. Let me pull up my little drawing tool here so that I can communicate very well. Right here is where you will enter the sponsoring information. That's you, the sponsor of this new business owner. And you know, I have a really strong belief and philosophy that if you are not willing to help someone achieve their expected level of success, please do not tarnish this company or the reputation of this company by feeling like we are a line 'em up, sign 'em up business. We are looking for people that are very, very into literally taking a family wealth altering solution to market, okay? It is profound. So when you enter sponsoring GBO, I want you to adopt the mindset that you are responsible to every person you enroll, not for them. Okay? So if we can all have that mindset, I am responsible to every GBO in Global Rescue. I didn't enroll all of you, but that is what Dan has asked me to do. But make no mistake that you have a sponsor in Global Rescue Direct, in Lloyd and Denise Stevens, or Kim Angel, or Mike Wells, or Jake Hendrickson, or Stephen Thomas. Make no mistake, it doesn't matter. Okay? So if you're the sponsor and you fill this area in, take it seriously. Okay? Down below, you will see this is where the new GBO's information is going to go in. So let me just pretend fill this out. And as the sponsor, I would enter my information right here. I would enter my GBO number. You will enter yours. I will enter the phone number that I want GBOs to conduct business with me. And I'm going to provide my email address. Oh, sorry. Those are all the information for me to sponsor, all right? Down here is where I would enter my new GBO's information, because guys, the minute they sign up and the minute you are notified on your app, on your smartphone, your Global Rescue Direct app, that is the point, and most of us are engaged with that person as they are enrolling. We know they're enrolling, okay? Jake, one of our leaders, brought up a great suggestion, and we are going to make certain that the company is notifying you as well. So that was a great suggestion that he brought to the table for each of our benefits. Jake, thank you for that suggestion. This is where I'm entering my new clients' information, because I understand the necessity to get them timely information in order that they can get plugged in. I'm telling you all, when you see this, I'm going to ask, I know Stephen Thomas has filled it out. I did get a confirmation back from him, because these guys work we all work closely together. And I'm going to ask him to tap in just 1 second and give us some feedback on what he found out as he did it. As I enter my new GBO's information here, this is the email and where the new GBO welcome letter is going to be submitted. After the information is entered, I cannot stress to you all, make certain the email addresses are correct. One character, one digit off in a computer makes a tremendous difference. And there's only so much data validation that can occur. I cannot validate an email address. I can only validate that it is in the email address format. So if you make a typo, it will not get to the recipient, okay? Press send the welcome email, all right? At this point, this is exactly what they're going to receive. They're going to receive an email that looks just like this. I'm showing you Stephen's. Stephen, pretend I had put Stephen Thomas as my new GBO. You can see the professionalism. This will make the buttons pop off of your shirt. You're not looking like some gimmick, and you're bringing home a very strong message, guys. When I get to the end of this call and we start talking about some of the networking events that we are going to and how we're being received, all of your buttons are going to pop off of your shirt. So I make a very strong, our goal here is to professionalize an otherwise very unprofessional industry, okay? And to that end, your leadership team, and many of you will become part of this team because you are in at a perfect time and you're pace setters, all right? This is where the rubber meets the road. Telling my new GBO, welcome, okay? I tell him that his success is a very tremendous priority with me. And in an effort to get him started right, below are some very important information pertaining to correctly getting his Global Rescue Direct business off of the ground. I talked about our team of networking professionals at Global Rescue Direct. not some line 'em up, sign 'em up business. We are networking professionals delivering a very strong solution to a world that is waiting on us, okay? And I want him to be confident that I'm going to make every effort to ensure he has every tool necessary right when he needs it, okay? So now let's get down to business. I tell him in no uncertain terms that the following information is very simple, but it is very crucial to his understanding and to his Global Rescue Direct business. I tell him that, look here, guys, if I do not see your completion email within 48 hours of receipt of this new member welcome email, I will reach out to you. You see, that's one of those pieces of information that I started the conversation off when I said, I am responsible to you, not for you, okay? I'm trying to convey to Stephen, my new GBO, that is how important the following instructions are to his successful Global Rescue Direct business. And I would love a text message or a WhatsApp message or some kind of message back from each and every one of you as you go out and you send that new member welcome email to yourself and you go through it, okay? I'm pointing out in this email, important, important, important. Establishing your business correctly, establishing your Global Rescue Direct business correctly will require a few minutes of attention. Team, make no mistake that every business has to pay attention. The new restaurateur, believe me, he has to pay attention. The new mechanic, believe me, he has to pay attention or he won't be in business. The new doctor, the new engineer, the new whatever you fill in the blank with must pay attention. And I think that in this business, we experience the law of diminishing effect because we don't convey the seriousness of the fundamentals very early in each of our businesses, okay? So we want to make it every effort to leave nobody behind. So I tell my new GBO, simply click here, okay? When they click here, this is where it's going to go. And I love it because my new GBO does not have to know any of this information. As the sponsor, when I filled out that other form that I just was sitting on, it passes all of his information to this form. Do you see that? So Stephen Thomas is the new GBO. I give this to him. He doesn't have to fill it out, so he can go straight to work filling in the information. What is the new GBO's task? And as I go through this, team, I want you to ask yourself, because a lot of us have been involved for quite some time since last August, maybe September, maybe January or February, March of this year. I want you to think, wow, what would have happened to me had I had this from the onset, okay? So all we've done is taken a compilation of the things that you and I know, but the brand new guy has no concept of it. Task number one, what's the first thing that they need to do most likely? They need to be able to download their service app and at the same time, their business app, right? Okay, of course, okay? So the second thing, excuse me, the next thing that I wanted to introduce to you and to show you is that there is a comprehension level required for that new GBO to click on and let you, the sponsor, know, okay? So for every task, they've got to either indicate they understand or they don't understand. They need further clarification. We have given them a scratch pad area right here for them to type in so that when it does come back to the time that I get, that once they finish this, they will get an email with everything they selected. I, the sponsor, will get one of everything they selected. The scratch pad will give them an area to type in so that it will jar their memory on what it was about task one that they didn't comprehend, okay? So in this case, I'm gonna choose, I need clarification and put, I'm having difficulty excuse my typing, I'm going relatively fast here, difficulty understanding how to add my family members, okay? So this is just their note that will be conveyed to me. So task number 1, fundamentals. Get your service app and get your business app that you paid for. Anybody, I don't think anybody can argue that is a fundamental. Task number 2, become familiar with your website. We show them their Global Business Direct replicated website. This has already got his GBO number tagged onto it in the very end. We introduce him to our website that he can use if he chooses for customers, which is our Find Your Freedom website, our marketing website. And we also introduce for him the business owner aspect of that website, which is where we are right now in our back office, okay? So those 3 things are indicated to the new GBO. Once again, we're going to ask for their comprehension. I understand. Task number 3, we want them to stay directly connected to the company and to Global Rescue Direct leadership, okay? This is how we communicate. This is how you all knew and got your reminder on WhatsApp, okay? So they indicate to us the WhatsApp mobile number that they want to use for us to communicate via WhatsApp, okay? One thing I want to point out about WhatsApp, and I will make a note to add this to the WhatsApp, this is to be used as a professional tool for communication. I would ask that we not use joking, thumbs up, you know, the typical things that you might one-on-one with people. You can do the one-on-one thumbs up and that type of stuff independently of this, but just keep in mind that this WhatsApp group is on its way to getting very large, and every time you send something out, just ask yourself, is this a value add to everybody on the team? Okay, your thumbs up and all that are wonderful. I love getting them personally. I'm sure the other leaders do as well, but just be cognizant that 4,000 people in a WhatsApp group, which is where we will be one day, not today, it could be very annoying to get a thumbs up from 1,000 of the 4,000. So let's keep this professional and use it for professional business only, okay? This task, this is where the new GBO would enter the phone number that they want to use as they go through doing their business, okay? And getting WhatsApp messages. So at this point, I understand or I need clarification. Task number 4, this is where we show them and connect them to 4 Facebook pages. Why do we have 4? Several reasons. If you look under each one of the letter F for the Facebook signal, you will notice that it tells you. The first one is Team FYF 123. This is a training group where the leaders post things that are a value add to everybody. It is not a private group, but it is a closed group, and each person must be added. Why do we do that? Guys, we have a lot of intellectual capital. All of this experience that we're going out to, companies pay big money to keep their intellectual capital within their company. We're no different, okay? So we want to make certain that you're getting the trainings and the teachings from people that are in the field, not talking heads that are telling you to go do something that they themselves have never even done or learned that it creates business, okay? The second one is our Team FYF page. This is open to the public. As we advance here, we will be beginning to do live things where things live will come across, and everybody that has liked this page will be able to tap in. I don't know if any of you are part of some of maybe our president's page, for example. When he's live, I get a notification, Donald Trump is live. I can make a decision to tap into it, or I can go back and get it later. Same concept here. The third Facebook image is the Global Rescue Direct corporate page. This is where things that come through a company, notifications from the company will be posted to keep everybody up to date with Global Rescue Direct corporate, okay? And then the fourth and final one is our Off the Health Insurance Grid page. This is where we're going to post our success stories. Ones like Loopy from last week, which was unbelievably profound, with the service use, with the experience through the step 1, 2, 3 triangle. The doctor, I mean, her story is just profound. I told her jokingly, but it's real serious. Loopy, I will be a millionaire off of your story because it can impact so many people. Okay, so that is where we will post stories, savings, as you help people through this. We have a tool that is not up yet, but it's coming, that will be available for you to enter their savings, and it will build the image to be posted on the Off the Health Insurance Grid website. So it's powerful, and there's already some unbelievable stories out there. So I think you can see why it is imperative that we get this in the hands of a new GBO so that they know where all forms of communication are posted. Once again, indicate the comprehension level. Task number 5, locating the corporate and team video channels, okay? These are our YouTube channels. This right here, the first YouTube channel, is the channel that contains every training call that we have had up to this point. I mean, I think that's profound. So someone can literally tap into and go all the way back as far as, let's see here, March the 6th, and hear every training on their own time. If they missed one, they're still in touch and can be brought up to speed very quickly. The second YouTube channel is our Find Your Freedom 1, 2, 3 channel. This is where the videos are that are open for everybody to come in and look at, okay? So you can see that there are a ton of videos sitting out there that somebody sitting in their home at 10 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock in the morning can tap into, learn more, and get up to speed. The third one is our corporate YouTube channel, as well as the corporate Vimeo channel. Once again, back to telling stories. Remember, facts tell, but stories sell, okay? So once again, to the GBO, this is just a resource that helps you understand the stories, learn the stories, so that you can convey the stories. And once again, the comprehension. Task number 6. This is where we key people into understanding the weekly training events and how to get to our calendar, okay? This is notifying them. Once again, when they see these images coming across WhatsApp, they're already positioned to understand it because they've been introduced to it, okay? It's not foreign to them. So repetition is the mother of all learning, okay? So we tell them where the calendar is located in their back office. Once again, comprehension level. Task number 7 is reminding the GBOs or teaching them where the training videos are. Once again, guys, this is tremendous in being able to position them to learn on their own time and get up to speed bigger, faster, and stronger, so that we are all moving at a very, very high rate of speed, okay? I have to tell you, as I talk with people, I know the tool that's fixing to be put in their hands, and I know the magnitude of how simple it's going to be to help convey to them so they can learn faster. And I loved what Kim Angel brought up tonight. This 5-minute video right here says nothing but says everything. So once again, giving them the tools that you and I are on the trainings learning, but they're brand new. They have no idea, okay? Once again, comprehension level is requested or demanded. It's not an option, okay? So now let's go to task number 8. Task number 8 is where we just show them the 4 calculators that we have available to them. We do not expect them to know them under any circumstances. We just want them to know that we solve a traditional healthcare problem. We solve the step 1 through 3 healthcare problem where they do all the talking. We have a calculator that will do the talking for them. And we also have one that is from the enterprise perspective that most everyone will never use on their own without the help of a mentor, okay? The point here is to show them the magnitude of what we have. And so I have to tell you, this is the comprehension level that I expect back. Yikes. How do I know when to use which calculator? Okay, so that's what I fully expect to get back from most people. But at the end of the day, I've at least told them, and what am I doing? I'm opening their mind to, wow, this is extraordinarily thought out, okay? Methodical, as Kim Angel just said, which leads to duplicatable. Task number 9. Task number 9 is where you can, and I'll go further into this. This is where we teach them to locate their marketing tools and create their personal guest calculator. I'll talk about that in just a moment once I complete this understanding. Market appropriately and move on to task number 10. Guys, none of these tasks I think that you're seeing are really earth-shattering, are they? Not at all. And this is the invite. This is where we are trying to put ideas into their head on how to invite various persons. I want each of you to understand, as this document well states, there is no way that we can prepare you for every situation. These are just statements that Kim, Angel, and myself have used, Mike uses. We all use some variation of them depending on the environment that we're in as we're talking and trying to help solve the specific customer's problem. I want you to keep in mind that at the core of every single one of our businesses, solving their problem is at the core. Every business solves a problem or there is no business, okay? So I do not want to encourage you to become a robot and think you have to quote these things. It's simply trying to convey to you a message that opens your mind so that you can begin to think, oh my gosh, we really do solve a problem, okay? So there's the invite. Once again, getting their understanding. And then finally, number 11 is describing for them the power of a mentor, okay? And I want every one of you to know, and I want the new GVOs to know, that everyone in Global Rescue Direct is in business for themselves, but never by themselves. And if you jump out there on your own, it is to your own demise. I do not say that out of arrogance, but it would be the same thing for the journeyman electrician to go do a job without someone overseeing him, or the plumber, or the engineer, or. Companies spend thousands positioning people. My sweet friend Lynn Wells, her company flew her to North Carolina for a 1-week seminar, air flights, meals, travel, training, her salary, just to get her skilled up and schooled up so that she could become a great rep of her company. We are no different, no different. Do not jump out there on your own. And I want to turn this, I'm going to ask Kim to come on board with me for just a second and explain to him, or explain to you all, the power of having a mentor, and there's not one of us on here that couldn't say the same thing. Kim, add to what I'm saying right here so that people can maybe understand it better from another person's perspective.
Sure, absolutely, Denise. You know, having a mentor can cut decades out of your career or the learning curve in your career. And I know myself, a lot of times I'm going along and I hit a little stopping point and I just need somebody to get me over the hump. I've just hit an issue and it's not within me the answer. And so I can bounce that off of Denise, for instance. She can get me over the hump and boom, I'm rolling again. Otherwise, I could, you know, make mistakes. I could bump my head against that, or it could be, you know, it could discourage me. So it's absolutely invaluable to pick a mentor that's stronger than you, and they're glad to help you. As you get along in your career, you realize it's very rewarding to have those proteges, to mentor other people. So they love it when you just ask for help. And I'm very grateful to have a strong mentor here. Back to you, Denise.
Thank you, Kim. And yes, we have worked very closely. I could ask any one of these guys the same question. And I wanted to point out what Andy Andrews, I don't know if many of you, if you know who he is, he's an unbelievable speaker, lost his parents at a very young age, does not do multi-level marketing, but he speaks at many conferences. And I've been training under him for many years. And I love what he says. He says, the number one, someone said to him, when do you know you are ready for a mentor? And his response is, the number one key thing you need to have in order to be ready for a mentor is a spirit of openness. And I can tell you that the team that I work with are very open. I want all of you to know I have no agenda other than for Global Rescue Direct to return the wealth to the American families that's being taken from them by the insurance companies, and place that wealth back into the pockets of the American people with a solution that gives them better care, more timely care at a cost they can afford to pay. That's it, okay? And as Andy goes on to say, you have to be open to the possibility that you don't know anything, or that some of what you do know might not be correct. You have to accept that there may be things wrong with your thinking. So I can tell you that I've engaged in conversation with Mike, with Stephen, with every one of these guys, and many of you, that sometimes Kim, I'm going to share a funny. When we put in one of our videos, it's decision time. Kim brought to me, he said, Denise, do you think it's decision time, or make a decision is too strong of a statement? Well-respected question, well-intentioned. I said, Kim, we must stop and think. Waiting 24 or 48 hours is a decision. And so that there's nothing wrong. And so all of that to say is that sometimes Kim or Mike or Jake or some of them change my thinking. I may not be on the right path, but the power of a mentor cannot and must not be understated. That's why it's in the task list. Jake, go right ahead, honey. Come on, Jake, we're waiting on you, babe. Hold on just one moment. Let me see here. You're muted. Okay, Jake, you are unmuted.
Okay, I just wanted to add something really quick about the whole mentorship and, you know, the expectations and having this stuff to go through to understand and having some level of confidence in what we're trying to do here. And it came to me in the way at last year's Eric Worre GoPro event. He was speaking, and he had with him a neighbor of his that wasn't involved in network marketing. This guy's a knee doctor in Las Vegas. And Eric Worre began asking him about how much schooling he went through. And, you know, for anybody that knows anything about doctors and any of these trained professionals knows that they're going to spend about 12 years in school. And it's interesting because I know not everyone on this webinar is, you know, trying to make this their full-time income. Maybe some of them are, maybe all of you are. But I think it's interesting that we go and get into this industry and then we're upset when things don't work quickly and people get disappointed, and they weren't willing to go through any sort of education and have the mentorship and learn and realize that it takes time and it takes effort to put into this. And I think this system that Denise has developed goes a long way into doing that, because you're learning the steps of exactly how to start people. You're learning how to become better. And you have to realize that, you know, if you want to get paid like a doctor or better than a doctor, which is very possible within network marketing and what we have available, that you're going to have to put in some time and you're going to have to put in some effort. I'm not saying it's going to take you 12 years to get there, but you have to realize that there's going to be time and effort that needs to be put in. And when Denise and Kim were talking about the mentorship and the time and, you know, developing comprehension of the system and confidence in what we're doing, that really rung true to me, because that was something that kind of, you know, it kind of hits you in the gut when you think about it. It's just like, you know, I'm expecting to earn, you know, for some of us, we're expecting to earn a lot of money in this, but we're not willing to put in the time and the effort that it takes to make that kind of money outside of network marketing. Because I'll tell you what, I'm not willing to put in 12 years to become a doctor, because that's just not in my thing. But I do realize that I can put in hard work and time into this and have some huge returns. So that was my one thing that kind of struck a chord with me this evening.
You know, Jake, that is a brilliant statement, and I've often said, you invest 4 years, the equivalent of a college degree, Jake, you're going to surpass any college student that comes out from college. I'm just telling you, 4 years here can pay. It's the equivalent of a typical university degree. Not a physician, just to your point, Jake, but you put in 4 years here and you won't work again. Okay, most especially with what we have our hands on. So Jake, great point, and thank you both so much for sharing. These are great points. At the completion, after filling out this form, you notice there is a submit notification of completed GBO task list to my sponsor. So pressing this button cannot be pressed until a comprehension level is selected for every task. They can pick it, or they can press the button, but it goes nowhere until they complete it, okay? So I'm going to press this now. Well, just like I told you, I didn't press one on task 11, and it jumped right to where the error was. So I'm going to submit it now and show you exactly what is conveyed back to the GBO and to you, the mentor, or the sponsor. You're going to get a message back that says, welcome to our team. We're thrilled to have you as a warrior running alongside us. Okay. And also they're going to get a list of every task and the links that take them to whatever was on that page. They're going to get their comprehension level that they answered. They're going to get that. Okay. They're going to also get their comments. That is going to help them when I do my follow-up call with them, help them remember what they said, and also help me ask them. I see here that you struggled a little bit with task number 1. Let's talk about that for just a minute. Okay, so it's going to help both people. And I want you to focus on 2 tasks that will have items in red. Task number 3 and task number 4. These are on us, guys, the GBO, the sponsor, okay? This is our job to add them to WhatsApp and our job to add them to the secret group that's on our Facebook of the success story, okay? That's what this is about. So those 2 items in red, the onus is on the sponsor. So just know that, okay? So at this point, that right there, all of this came from you filling out one little form in your back office right here under new GBO tasks. So that right there concludes the new GBO task piece of it. Guys, any of you have anything that you would like to interject at this point further? Stephen had to jump off. So that he had to do something with his family. So he's not with us. Anything that you guys want to add to this?
Denise, I have a quick comment. Kim here.
You bet, Kim.
I just is so relieved that I've always felt pressure to try to remember all the things that I should tell a new GBO and they're, they're a little bit overwhelmed with new information. And I'm, usually a little overwhelmed with all the information I've had to share with them, to, like I say, we just did a sign up. And I've got to remember all this stuff. And it's just such a relief, thank you, that I can just, calm down, come back, fill out a new GBO form, and know that they've got all that. I didn't forget a thing. It all got, uniform training and startup. And then we can just focus on the exceptions, focus on, where they, need clarifications. I love it. Thank you.
You know what, Kim? More than welcome. And so much of this has come through the skinning of our knees. So I got to tell you, it gives me, I say thank you to you guys as well, because it gives us clearly the ability to pass this off to someone else, and they're going to get schooled up and skilled up quickly as well. Okay, moving forward.
Denise.
Yes, Michael.
Yeah, this is Jake. Just wanted to say one thing. There's a lot of different companies out there and that sort of thing, but what you're looking at, this is a system. This makes people self-sufficient. If you have someone ask you a question about Total Care, Global Rescue Direct, if you have them ask you a question about Christian Healthcare Ministries, in the helpful forms and documents, you have the tools and all the capabilities you need to be self-sufficient. And this right here, this is a true system. This isn't use this video, that video, and then this video, and those 3 videos are going to solve your problems. This is a true system, and I think that's pretty profound, because a lot of people this new and kind of getting everything rolling would be really, really happy to be placed into this. So I just want to commend you on what the work you've done. But I mean, what you're seeing here in the back office, this is a true system. This isn't some gimmick. This is a system where people can do their own thing and be self-sufficient and be a part of the team. And this is how momentum and waves of action are created.
You know what, Jake? Thank you so much for your confidence. And I want each one of you on this call to know that this is a real live conversation. This is not about what I've accomplished, but you know what? It was Jake's needs. It was Kim's needs. It was Mike's needs. It was all of our needs, all of you, in some form or fashion. Some of the fine things that have come out of this new GBO welcome email came from a new GBO. Okay. So thank you there. It is a culmination. And as you said, Jake, how many people, I can't tell you, I can't quantify the number of hours and the dollars that something of this magnitude, when a brand new GBO said to me day before yesterday, I need to implement something like this with my team, okay, in another business. So thank you, Jake. I appreciate it. And a lot of it came from every single one of you on this call. So, and this is the screen that Jake is talking about, the helpful forms and documents. Once again, to reiterate, when you see stripes, you know that is a form that you're going to fill out to email and communicate with someone. When you see the plain pages, that is an indicator to you that is a document. For example, if I click on the wealth plan, that is going to open up the wealth plan. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about in terms of content. And all right, so let's get back to the back office, and I'm getting to the part I really want to show you guys as well, the marketing piece. We have built around, right now we use a calculator or a guest calculator to hand off to people as a technique, if you will. Principles do not change in this industry. Techniques change, okay? Fundamentals don't. The fundamentals of talking to people, helping people, establishing that relationship, marketing techniques will change, but the fundamentals of people talking and helping people will never change, all right? So to that end, in your back office, under the toolbox, we have built some marketing tools, all right? This is all available to you. The marketing tools lie back here, and what they are there are 3 campaigns, if you will. In marketing, a campaign is nothing more than a technique, okay? the word campaign and technique could essentially be used interchangeably, okay? So what are you trying to convey to whom you're trying to convey, okay? Some people prefer to use the guest calculator without a front end 1 minute video. Others of you like to have that 1 minute video sit on the front and then go into the calculator. Those campaigns are they're no different in terms of generating a profound numbers for the client. It's just which one do you want to use, okay? And then finally, the third campaign is a comparison. Let me tell you, this telemedicine comparison evolved to me this weekend as I read a newspaper article in the state of Texas on June the 4th. Our governor signed into law things that open up, making it easier for virtual telemedicine solutions to offer a solution. Well, right then I thought, we have many competitors, but zero competition, okay? So I thought, I have got to have something for me. And the more I thought, well, you know what? Diane or Mike or Kim or Jake, they may need this, okay? So you may have a great thought as well. Please convey that to us, because it can just become another marketing technique, marketing campaign, whatever, okay? The telemedicine comparison I'll point you to, it was so impactful to me that I made it one of the options so that everybody can see it, okay, from coming to Find Your Freedom, just to open it for you and show you this is how powerful what we have at Global Rescue Direct is. Guys, let me make this just a little bit smaller. As you look at this, can you tell me that Teladoc is even close in comparison? Not even in the same ballpark. This is a pro team versus junior high, or maybe even elementary. Guys, I don't say that with one bone of arrogance, but the proposition that Dan Richards has placed on the table for us is unheard of. Okay, so right there, do just that alone. I thought, I've got to have a campaign. I've got to have the ability to create a link that sparks their interest and gets it back to me, Denise Stevens. So this is where it is. It's back in our business, in our marketing. Let me make it larger now that I'm through with that. Hold on just 1 second. Okay, so how does this work? Same concept. You enter at the top all of your information. What name do you prefer to be called? In my case, I want to be called Denise Stevens. Okay, what email address do you want every lead response to come to? This is where you enter your email address. And guys, once again, double check, triple check, and make certain that you do not misspell, leaving one character out, because there's no telling how many leads you may be losing based on your posting, okay? Enter your GBO number. Enter your phone number that you want to be contacted at. And if you have a Christian Healthcare Ministries member number, great. If you don't, share the number of one of your team members that does use it, because it will generate 1 free month of service for them, which is a savings to them and their family. If somebody is working, I have full intention of using it as a reward system in my organization for someone that I know is putting their best foot forward and they're trying to work hard. I have no problem with using their Christian Healthcare Ministries number, okay? So enter it at this point. And then the third one, or the next one, is Calendly. Let me explain to you Calendly. If you are a new GBO, initially, this may not be an issue for you. Calendly is nothing but a piece of software that costs $9.95 or $9.99 a month. If somebody wants to use it, great. If they don't, great. All Calendly does is advance that user. Once they click the link and want to know more, I'll walk you through it in a second. Once they want to know more, then they can choose for themselves to set up the appointment based on my schedule that I put out there for them to choose the time frame. Okay, I don't have to call back via an email and play phone tag. That may be beneficial to you. It may not. Okay, use it if you want to. Don't if you don't. I'm going to go ahead and put my Calendly identifier in here because I have one, and that way you can see it. Okay, you can. Kim is stating that he uses the free version. There you go. Okay, so you can go out and discover at Calendly.com. That is CALE, N as in Nancy, D as in David, L as in Lucky, Y as in yellow.com. Calendly.com. If one of you would be kind enough to type that in, Kim, that would be really beneficial to get that to everybody. So having said that, now I'm going to keep moving forward. Now you're in a position when you choose the little indicator to the left of each picture, look what happens in this box. If you look right here, it has built the link that maps to my information. It will do the exact same thing for you, okay? You can choose whichever ones you want, or you can choose them all. That's really what I suggest, is that each one of you go down the list and choose every one of them. And that way, at the end of it, send yourself an email. It's going to send you an email with this information. Let me show you. Clicking the red button that says email my campaign links to me. And so once you've selected all of them, then you can go through, and this is the email that will be constructed for you. If you look at this, it brings a report up for you with a timestamp right here, okay? And it shows you Stephen Thomas, here's his information, here's his identifier, and notice, let me make this a little bit bigger for you if I can, because it's so tiny here. Let me see here. Long story short, it will take me a second on this particular PC to find where to make things larger, but you can certainly make them larger for yourself. And you can see right here that everything is in Stephen Thomas's name. You've got his GBO number and everything. So all of those links are going back to him. Now, I want to bring up an excellent point brought up this evening by Jay Kendrickson, one of your leaders. He said, we do not need to, guys, do not get out on Facebook and spam and bring this information up to everybody at all times, okay? Don't go out there and post this stuff day in and day out and drive people batty. Why do I say that? Because you will, I'm making this larger here. You will experience the law of diminishing effect, and you will be categorized as one of those MLMers, okay? Do not do it. Please don't do it. We are professional. Use them in a private capacity. For example, I might suggest to you that you copy this link, for example. I'm just picking one. Open up your email. Let me go to home, new email, and I'm going to send myself an email for an example. Link I referenced in our conversation. Or I just may put link right here just for speed purposes. And I might say, Denise, thank you for taking my call. You guys are getting it. Here is the link. Here is the link to our calculator for you to establish your savings blah, 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 blah. You get it, okay? And then I would just paste my link in there, okay? That's more appropriate. Finding the link that is appropriate for a specific person, okay? So that right there is really, really huge. Using it in email is a more appropriate solution versus using it on a broad base, dripping on people time after time after time over time, but not every day, 3 times a day, 3 times a week, blah, blah, blah. You kind of get what I'm talking about, okay? So you can do it on Facebook and there's no problem with it. But please do not wear us out and put us in the same boat as many of the other MLM companies, okay? So I hope that each of you are getting the message to what we're talking about here. All right, so now let me move on from this. So I hope you understand that is found in your back office under Toolbox. It has the marketing tools out there for you, all right? So right here, Toolbox, marketing tools, right there, all right? So having said this, I want to jump right into now helping you understand really what you have your hands on. Last night, I had the opportunity to go to a larger scale network event sponsored by one of the Texas area chambers of commerce, where they brought 5 independent individual cities together in one place. So there were people that were already focused on networking, okay? And in many times, they're focused on just selling their product. Can I tell you that I have never been more proud knowing, number one, we are the one and only that encompasses and captures a market share in a way that is so easily conveyed and well received, okay? We were able to say, as they ask us what we do, it was a very clear-cut passion that I was able to position myself with a very strong posture. And I had people, guys, reaching for their business cards before I could even get mine out, okay? I'm going to give you a couple of examples specifically, but what I've done is I've asked one of the girls that we were there working with, she and her husband last night, we were there working with 2 different organizations that are in 2 different cities. And it was an awesome experience for everybody. So Deborah, I've asked Deborah and Chris Owens out of Mansfield, Texas. Deborah, can you jump on here and share with people some of your lessons learned, what you saw, and how you felt we were different in terms of every other business that was at that event last night? Deborah, can you take it away? You will probably have to unmute yourself, Deborah. Okay, Deborah, you are now, I just promoted you. Now you should be able to talk.
Okay, is that better?
Okay, Deborah, I got you. Yep, that's much better.
It's a really great event. There were several of us there, and one of the things I appreciated that they did is they handed out a sheet of, sorry, we're hanging up on the other line to make sure there's no echo, to a sheet of icebreakers. And I think that's one thing some people overlook, is just having the confidence to walk up to people. So if you've got a purpose, which in this company, we really have a greater purpose than any icebreaker they could have ever put on that sheet. It gave you the courage to just walk and talk to everyone in your path. And the biggest thing about talking to everyone is, like you said, diminishing returns. Don't just, spread a bunch of manure and expect everything to grow. You really have to plant seeds. You have to keep it real. You have to be sincere and genuine. And if you if people understand that you're invested in them and in their lives, they're more willing to make the investment with you. So if you're sincere about wanting to help people, all you have to do is say, when they ask what you do, I got to tell you, I may have something that could help you. If not, that's fine. But we're helping people all over this country get away from insurance companies and put the money back into their own savings account instead of building, other skyscrapers for these big businesses. We're teaching people how to handle their health care in a different way, see the savings, get better care, and they're flourishing. So if that's something that would be of interest to you, then here's my card. If that's something you don't need, if you don't need to save money on healthcare, you're already getting it free or whatever, then great. But you just have to be sincere. You just have to be genuine about wanting to help people, because they will sniff it out.
Okay. And some of the stuff, they sniff it out, but I want you guys to focus here in terms of, there were two things as I talked last night. My confidence was unbelievable because I see the fact there were two issues. Like Deborah said, returning the wealth to the American people. That speaks to people, guys. That speaks volumes to people. And also helping them do it by getting off the insurance grid. And that right there would resonate. As I talked with various people, team, there were people that would say to me, two different individuals offered to put a link on their website to what we are doing. All right. One lady specifically that I'm talking about, her name was Jane. She works in a retirement, they help with retirement, persons of retirement age and helping them elderly people. And initially, at the onset of the conversation, she was a little standoffish, as some people will be. But the gravity of what we have attracted her two ways. My confidence and my conviction, which created a posture that she could not knock down. Jake, you said it on a training call. You said it when you said we are so powerful that we cannot be ignored. And that's what I was last night with her. She started off by telling me, no, I have insurance through my company. I work for a very large company. I said, that's great. I said, that's great as long as you work for that company, right, Jane? And I did this through questions. She said, yes. The more I talked to Jane, you want to get to the crux of it, guys? Jane said to me, my portion out of my check would only be about $60 a month if I didn't have to have my 23-year-old daughter making it about $250 to $260 a month. Okay, right there, she spoke volumes to me. And I was able to look at Jane and say, Jane, in all seriousness, if you are looking to experience a $350 to $450 a month pay raise, I'm your solution. Here is my card. We can talk when it's convenient for you. And she gave me her card in return. Okay, that was, as Deborah said, focusing in on Jane. Okay, she said to me, how do you do that? And I said, I'm not going to go into the details tonight. The music is so loud, but I want you to keep in mind a triangle where you will win, my company will win, and I will win. Who can lose? That was example number one. Another example, guys, and all of this is going to go back to that invite. Like I told you, there's no way that we can prepare you for every situation, okay? And we are so strong with our message that, as Jake said again, we can't be ignored because we're not trying to sell them, we're trying to tell them. Another lady walked up to me at the very end. We were just fixing to break away to go get something to eat. We'd been there. The music was so loud. And as we're getting ready to leave, this lady walked up to me and said, are you the lady that's with the company Global Rescue Direct. And I said, I am. And she said, can I talk to you for just a moment? So I stepped to the side and I sat down at the table, and she was the public relations director of one of the emergency centers there close to where we were. She said, I want to give you the office manager, the finance office, director of finance's information for you to call her so that you can be a solution for patients that we see that do not have access to care. That was through someone else at that networking event, guys. Okay? It's because, keep in mind, and I tell you this humbly, Deborah and Chris were there, Kathy was there. 100% of the people that we talked with gave us their information. So I really want you all to be as professional and skilled up as we can be. And I wasn't focused on recruiting those people. I'm focused on getting the message out to the people, which was conveyed by the public relations director getting our message, because we became a solution that was conveyed to her from somebody that I didn't even know who they were. Okay? She told me somebody had told them. So that's a power that we have that in no other business have I been involved in, that you can come out of the blocks and work with new GBOs and begin to create the success in them. The third and final point that I will bring up at 1 o'clock tomorrow, Lloyd Stevens used one of the tools that sits in your back office right here. Let me show you which one it is in the back office. Lloyd stood talking with a gentleman, and he used, under the step 1, 2, 3 solution tool, he used the step 1, 2, 3 quick lead info. Okay, he used that tool. He has it on his cell phone, on his smartphone, and he was able to key in the information of Lupe, his information. And tomorrow we have a 1 o'clock call that has been confirmed today with Lupe from last night. So all your tools are there. The point we're making on this training is learn to use them effectively by using a mentor, not on your own. Okay? Once you're equipped, your mentor will become less and less part of your business, but we will always be in business together. So, Kim, Mike, Jake, Stephen, anything further, Lloyd, honey, anything further that you guys feel compelled to add to this?
Regarding the networking, Denise, I've got a comment.
Of course.
Yeah. After you've been to a couple of these networking events and you get a feel for your value proposition versus the other ones in the room, they tend to get sort of also ran. People are almost apologizing for their, I don't want to say mundane, but for their value proposition. Even my 20-year-old son went to his first networking event a week ago, and he could tell that he had the strongest value proposition in the room, and came back with 6 business cards, and we set appointments for half of those very quickly. So I'm just saying, you know, that community's not used to hearing something this strong, and when you get the feedback from sharing it, it will put the wind in your sails. Back to you,
Yep.
Denise.
You know what, Kim, you're exactly right. And when you have the wind in your sails, you recognize what you have your hands on. And not everybody will become a GBO. That is totally okay, because your business, I will tell you on the front end, is going to be made up of predominantly customers. It's the nature of the beast, and they're very valuable, and you will get paid every month, and they will get benefit every day. Okay, so having that confidence is something that I'm going to make every effort to communicate. As one gentleman said last night, standing with myself and Chris Owen, he said, so are you telling me that this is an opportunity that I can take to other people help them, and make money. That is exactly what I'm communicating to you. And so I said, you know, we can get on the phone tomorrow. And he said, I've got a couple of things this week I need to iron out, but next week would be fantastic. So you guys, we're going to continue on this quest. And I want you all to keep in mind that we played on Monday night, and it is out there on the Find Your Freedom 123 website about a company by the name of Primerica. It started 40 years ago with a cause, because the founder's mother was taken and given poor information regarding her life insurance. And when she lost her husband, this gentleman's daddy, it flat made him mad when he discovered a better solution was laying under their nose, but the insurance companies were neglecting to convey it. This company is a 40-year-old company today. It is on the stock market today. This company today started, hear me clear, with 85 people. If you're on this call tonight, you're one of the 85. Let's take this message to the world, guys. We'll give you our best. We will only work in the areas where the GBOs are focused, and I don't mean 100%, but we must dedicate our time to the serious. And the serious are who are going to win, because the world clearly is waiting on our message. So I sincerely hope that this training has benefited you. I sincerely hope you value what you have your hands on. And to the degree that we've reached you, reach out to us. Touch Us will help you. And just understand that we are light years ahead of where we were on launch day. And it's a new day at Global Rescue Direct. So from Dallas, Texas, on our Wednesday night, June the 14th training, like you're saying, Kim, let's roll. In fact, let's rock and roll. So you guys have a great week. Let us know how we can help you. The system is built. The tools are there. It's time to go. Take care, everybody, and good night from Dallas, Texas.